Morning all. This is game 19 out of 20 in the ITSL season. We're playing Ndugu. We'll say hello. Ooh, 3 4-op cards is very nice. What a way to start. We can afford to purge them here, and we don't really have any other headline. So we're going to do that because I'm cruel and unusual in my punishments. Okay, right, that's enough chit chat. We'll go 4-4-2, that is fine, and we'll headline purge. That is fine. And then everything else from there can get plugged into the hand tracker. So we got the NTB and the NATO, the CIA and the Truman. A couple of one-up cards is a shame, but Cambridge 5 is playable because we don't have a scoring card. Obviously, we hold decall if we can. Vietnam Revolts. Wonder if they're going duck and cover next. And a Warsaw Pact. Very interesting. Okay. I think we want to go into Malaysia, but we also want to level up country count, don't we? So let's do that. With Indo-Pakistani war, it's risky. We've got some speculative one-op coups on Vietnam. But if we can lure him into coups with the China card, that would be perfectly nice. We shall see. Ugh. So yeah, last game of the ITSL season will be on Tuesday. This is my last but one. 7-11 for the season, so there's not even a chance of getting a 50-50 record. But I've already done better than last season, so that's all good. We'll see if we can get 10-10 next time. Going in with a one-op coup. Loves the Vietnam Revolt stuff. Right. Now let's take our own speculative coup on Vietnam and hope for the best. So 50-50. Fails. Okay. If they've got Asia scoring, we are embarrassed. I'm guessing from the relative delay, they do not have Asia scoring. They did use Korean War. So another thing I can do is fill South Korea. I'd have to use Cambridge 5 to do it, which telegraphs quite a lot of information halfway through the turn. Yeah, they've seen it too. So we will fill Korea that way. This is starting to leave us a little strangle for ops, because we do have to hold Warsaw Pact against blockade. Oh, this is big. Oof. Lucky. So now we use Truman Doctrine to coup Vietnam. That's nice. Just keep edging those mill-ops up, because DEFCON's staying high. Well, we know there's no way they've got Asia scoring. If we don't get blockaded, well done them. All right, yep. So we're going to overprotect Pakistan and Korea. If we don't get blockaded, I'm going to use Warsaw Pact, and I would like presenceless domination in the Middle East in case we get dealt Nasser and Middle East scoring. De Gaulle's gone as well, which is good. If we get blockaded, we're forced to space. We don't. So we get an extra op, which is nice. Let's see what they do with theirs. So we can go 1, 2, 3. Right, decol on Vietnam revolts are gone. We're level in Asia. So maybe just overprotect Iran? No, DEFCON's really high. So what we're going to do is split Iraq, presenceless dom in Lebanon, and put one in France. So if they socialist government coup Italy, we can get straight back in. If they socialist governments coup Italy, leaving Italy at 0, we can walk straight back in. Giving up 3 VP and Milops is a bit of a shame, but we'll see how the next turn comes out. They played very well under Purge there. Two VP, because they didn't make it all up the tracker. Nasser and Middle East. Neither. I mean, US Japan's probably the best because it gives us domination in their headline phase. We waste an op. We've got blockade, so we can blockade away Suez. Although we've got UN intervention as well. In any case, US Japan is the only really safe headline here. UN blockade Fidel Suez EU and special relationship. Yeah. All right, so we waste an op, but EU doesn't do anything. Special relationship, if they socialist governments, doesn't do anything. We've got no other suitable headlines. We could blockade Suez in the headline. But US-Japan gives us Asia domination, protects Korea, forces them to act in the headline phase. All that stuff seems good enough to me. It leaves us relatively ops light, which is a bit frustrating, but can't have it all. High DEFCON turn 2s are confusing to me. They got Nasser, so it's a good thing we didn't get Middle East scoring. Now we'll see where their focus shifts. Iran or Pakistan, most likely. Iran. Wow. Okay, so we'll counter coup Egypt, and we get fairly lucky on the counter coup. So Pakistan is now very vulnerable. Next up, we'll do 2 in France. Quick and dirty domination. Let's see if we get a D-style here. There's a 50-50 chance of it. Okay, that all makes sense. So we will take Libya next. We're going to make them fight us in the Middle East. They know we don't have Asia scoring. Don't have the ops to take India either, unfortunately. It leaves Pakistan wide open, which I'm not happy about. If they play into Burma, I think we might just have to see if we can sneak a Formosa at some point. Or just stay level in Asia, which is fine. But we might have to take Afghanistan. Do they go to Saudi, or do they level up Asia, or do they do something else? Okay, so they're pushing to India. We're going to use Fidel to take France. I mean, that does at least create a target for us, for CIA. Not that Ndugu's stupid enough to give up the China card. We're going to have to space decol, but that is life. And then 2 ops left. Blockade Suez. There's D-Style. Yeah, well, not shabby at all. Well done, them. So let's blockade Suez and do the optimistic realign on Venezuela? No. So it goes. While they consolidate, we will space decol and put 1 in Malaysia to again get domination in the headline phase. It's all very precipitous at the moment, but we'll see if we can consolidate later in the game. Indy Reds goes away. Real space decol. Well done, NASA. Can we get a Middle East scoring for 0? No. But we can redominate in Asia. Right, Indo-Pakistani War is the big deal breaker card. Okay, so I think we go Asia scoring here. And they know we've got it, but they have to have been reshuffled something. They've got Middle East scoring. Marshall Plan coming back is great. And UNI. So we got Formosa. They got 5-year plan. So they can 5-year Middle East if they think. They got captured Nazi and Arab Israeli. We got OG. Yeah. Reshuffle. And we got Ra. And Romanian Marshall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And Korean War. Right, so they got 3 cards. They needed to be dealt decol or Indo-Pakistani war. Well, it's a gamble. Ah! Okay, but it does mean we should be able to get Europe off. They'll be looking to coup Libya. So we're going to go into the mid-war. Slightly ahead on VP, but way behind in terms of board development. Because this goes from a 5 to a 1. Nigeria, Zaire, break Malaysia or Vietnam, one in South Africa. That's all they need to do. I could have held Asia scoring, could have just done Marshall Plan, but I kind of wanted to get a scoring card out of the way, and they had to have been dealt it in the reshuffle. The odds of that are not high, so I think as a speculative gamble, it wasn't too bad. I want to give myself space to make plays in the game, not take turns off. And Marshall Plan was literally the only headline. Plus, it was perfect information, right? If I hold Asia scoring, they know I've got Asia scoring, so they can still frig with me during the turn. Right, so the cards we know they have, Middle East 5-year, NORAD, capture Nazi, Arab Israeli. So Arab Israeli's only really good for Milops here. Yeah, that's all good. 1 VP. Cha-ching. So they go with the coup, that's fine. Libya, obviously. Huge, huge coup. Oh boy, howdy. That's rough. There is no way for us to level up Middle East there. We can jam Libya, but they've got NORAD. And we stay behind if we jam it. Oh, that was the perfect coup. What did they have to roll? They had to roll a 6. Okay, well, can't argue with that. So, on that basis, we'll drop Europe scoring. One hurry. Yeah, we want to hold our ops for realigns and stuff. Say. So now we're not going in ahead because they'll get 5 for the Middle East, 4. Okay, yeah. Plus Milops. Okay, so we're a few VP ahead of where we want to be, but no more than that. So now it's realign times, starting with Chile. Come on. There it is. Big one on Cuba. No. Okay. Well, we achieved part 1 of the goal, which is make sure they don't have total coverage in South America. We'll space Korean War. I'm not prepared to take a 1 in 6 gamble. If they don't immediately respond with a space, I would definitely think of spacing again, because they could event capture Nazi. If they successfully space, they can event capture Nazi to get to the 2 VP square. This is fine. I guess with NORAD in their hand, putting 1 in Canada is quite good, because we can threaten to... Man, Africa's bad. Oof. Yep, so that's Space Korean War. Excellent. Now they have to respond, and if they respond with a space, i.e. NORAD, and they're successful, they get the 2 VP. But they event instead. Well, but they can space afterwards. Doi. Yeah, well done them. I would have. Well, I suppose they don't want to speculate on the 50-50 space, right? D-Style's gone, so we'll put one in Canada. Force them to space NORAD that way, which they're gonna do, but there's not much use of it. Another op anywhere. They've got 5-year plan NORAD and one other card, which presumably, if they space NORAD, is not CIA. Yeah. Well done, Roscosmos. Let's go there in advance of. I'm going to Colombia as well. If they coup, I can counter coup. Being able to tap Venezuela doesn't hurt. If they don't do anything about it because they don't want to give up mill ops, we can take Mexico or tap Cuba. But Africa is rough. So not much further ahead on VP than we'd like to be, thanks to that astonishing initial coup. Fine, fine, fine. What are you pitching? Truman? Yeah. And Yugoslavia loses an op. Okay, so we will, rather than give another hunter target, we'll tap Cuba. VOA's real nice. UN interventioning lone gunman's real nice. We got Indo-Pakistani war. That's all jolly good. So what's our headline? How I learned, I guess? Because it gives us the most flexibility. Because we can VOA in turn 1. I think that's probably alright. Indo-Pakistani war. South America scoring. How I learned. Summit. Lona gunman. NTB. And then the US. Shuttle dip VOA. Yeah, I think we'll just do how I learned because it gives us some flexibility. Ooh. We're still going to drop DEFCON to 2 and see if we can get ahead of this. We probably can't. But we've got Voice of America. I'd quite like to take 2 out of Algeria and 1 out of Nigeria as well, though. Let's see what they do in turn 1. Ooh. That's sassy. Very sassy. 1, 2, 3. So we'll use Voice of America. Oh, no, because they've still got presence domination with Colombia. We'll go nuclear test ban coup Uruguay. Good start. And now if they don't overprotect, we can Voice of America Argentina. I mean, that's a good result for us, right? So we VOA them out of there and out of Nigeria. And now they have to event IND to get back in. Otherwise, we can level up South America. Which is pretty much our entire turn will be spent dealing with South America. Not the best use of my time or efforts. Oh, holy moly. That's very good. Very, very good. Camp David is nice for us. Ahead of... So going Uruguay? Wow. Good job. Oh, man. Could still end up getting dominated here. Because if we go to Chile, they can just tap Argentina. Still got to make them, right? UN lone gunman. Summit if we're lucky. But yeah, could run out of tempo here. Another 6. Again, another one where any less than a 6 achieves nothing for them. So that's 2 6 coups that have swung the game, which is fine. That's why the dice exists. So a UN lone gunman to take Chile and hope they don't do more than tappy the country, but they've got 2 turns to cause trouble. I think we might well be eating South America scoring here. Okay. That's a shame. We do at least not lose presence in Chile, but there you go. Well done, them. 5 well-earned VPs. That makes sense following that. And now they're headline peaking as well. So what are we going to do with 1 op, 1 measly op? We will try and realign them out of Mexico at a low rate. Oh, well. That was fun. 1 small step safest. Stops the peaking. Purge is the other option, but is unusually aggressive, I guess. We don't have any 2-op cards we really want to space, and we have got 3-op ones. So we're 1 small step in the headline. It's milquetoast for a reason. Alliance. SocGov. OAS. U2. Muslim. Right, this is. I mean, we don't have. Yeah, Africa scoring coming out is going to be the deal breaker if they get 10 VP there. Oh, okay. Well, Muslim Rev's fine, right? Because we can play straight back into Israel, and we've got Iraq and Jordan. So, yeah, it's a lot better giving them Purge. And then they will coup Panama, most likely. We have to space OPEC because that's 4 VP. Okay, Panama. Oof. Oh, I've got to use missile envy. Very neat. We've got time to deal with. So let's go back into Egypt. We can't rely on Sadat. If they take Panama but don't go Nicaragua or Haiti, we can use OAS. Okay. CIA still in the deck and duck and cover, and they've given us the China card. So we've got some outs there as well. Yeah, that makes sense. So we will use Alliance of Progress, coup Cameroon. If they've got Africa scoring, they'll play it now. But if they play into Nigeria, we can use Purge to flip Zaire and overprotect it, which at least means control is off the table. Want to space OPEC. We're both at the 3 VP square. Take Mexico, use OAS possibly to break, or to play Nicaragua, Haiti to set up the rear lines on Cuba. Oh, let's see Africa scoring here, please. No. Cult Rev, Suez, SAU. Keep defectors and duck and cover him. $10-5. Grain sales is still in the deck too. Okay, so we will use Purge to flip Zaire. Yeah, there's a world in which I could, especially as they're now spacing through up cards, if I can grain sales them and leave them with CIA, that's a delight. Duck and cover can always be spaced. Oh boy, here we go. Oh good. Right, our snot's gone, but now we can counter space OPEC for sure. Well done, NASA. That was a nice little workaround for us. Big swing. If we go U2, Nicaragua, Haiti, West Germany, we can then use Willy Brandt to take 2 rear lines. Ooh, this is seriously problematic. Well done, them. An excellent brush target. We haven't seen ABM either. Itching to be dealt grain sales next turn. Yes. So the question is, do we have a better coup on a battleground? Suppose we do. Ugh. Because if they don't have Central America scoring right now, we can OAS into Cuba and Panama. Oh. Well done with nuclear subs and all. CIA? Ah, NATO. Okay. Well, with grain sales out of the way, we cannot. One, two, three. So we can coup Nigeria. Yeah. And then play into Algeria to. We don't need to play into Algeria, do we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, we dominate in the headline. Yeah, let's do that. It's a big gamble because we want to try and get into Mexico, but let's do it. Very neat. Well, we're hoping against hope that they do not have ABM treaty, and we've been stung before. Duck and cover. So ABM and Portuguese Empire, in fact. Okay. Less good. So maybe duck and cover is better. Man, those scoring cards are not great for me. Yeah, it's duck and cover. That at least means if they have CIA, they have to ABM and then play it to get away with it. Oh, they're Brezhnev. God dang! I overthought myself. Oh boy. This could be very painful. Yep. Dear. Dear. We can coup Saharan states, but it only takes an influence them to go back up in Africa. But then we can realign Algeria. So they kind of have to counter coup Saharan states. So let's do that. So what we're hoping here is that they don't counter coup, they don't put influence in somewhere else, but if they do put influence in somewhere else, we can realign them out of Algeria. That's assuming I'm capable of realigning them out of Algeria, which I may not be. But if we can fade Africa Dom here, we just drop the card. Just an influence somewhere cheap. Yes, 2 places cheap. Okay, we're going to take the Che gambit and hope to realign Algeria and hope they do not get Cameroon. That's splendid. Nowhere else is particularly suitable. But I'm still going to have one. Let's go. Conquest -2. Cuba's even. Deep breath. Excellent. All right, this is a big old gamble. If they get Cameroon, Zaire gets realigned out. But if they don't, then we can take Algeria. Okay. Please miss on Cameroon. Oh, wow. I mean, another big 6. But yeah, I mean, even a 3 is fine, isn't it? Looks like we'll be eating Africa domination. Oh well. Gave it a good try. Ugh. And Southeast Asia. Central America's looking very problematic. Sure. Let's give him Southeast Asia. Central America gets him to 16 now, so I do need to do something about that. That's a free one for Mexico, which is nice. One for Afghanistan, and then the next best one is nowhere in particular. Well, Czechoslovakia to set up eventual realigns, I suppose. Right, so we want to space first, and we can discard a held card. which is nice. And then event and repair, De Gaulle and SocGov, and see if we can sneak one into Mexico as well. If they get dealt CIA, I'm tempted to hold We Will Bury You. To drop DEFCON the headline. Oh, the ABM treaty is still in the deck as well. So, need to remember that. Hickson's gone. 5, 9, 11, 12 unknown cards. So it should be 9 in the deck. 8 in the draw. I've missed one. Puppet Governments has gone as well. Yep. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, so if we get dealt ABM treaty, if we get dealt ABM treaty and they get dealt CIA, I would have just done Portuguese in the headline. Interesting. But now we're looking at, we're very much strongly looking at ways to DEFCON suicide them. The board is very red. If we get dealt CIA, I think the jig is up. So we will go 2 France, 1 Mexico. We cannot discard a help card. No, we can, because that's the 1v. Anyway, De Gaulle and repair. I'm going to hold it. It's a hell of a gamble. When we got Central America scoring, so we give up 3 VP, but we can then ditch Central America. We've got ABM treaty, and we've got arms race. We've got no way to shorten their hand, though. Which makes it a space card, which leaves us with Decol. So a headline ABM treaty. But then they can pitch CIA. Okay, well, we're doing We Will Bury You. I kept it for a reason. This is insane. God, what a complete idiot. I can only hope he headlines CIA, but he knows we've got We Will Bury You. Maybe he just doesn't think I'm insane enough to headline it. Yeah, okay. Very sensible. Absolute maniac. They got lads. Lads CIA, Panama, John Paul. Completely insane. Foremost are Portuguese. Decol. Olympic Games. So ABM Treaty Q Panama arms race, Central America hopefully for 0. Hope to make it to turn 8 and have another shot at DEFCON suiciding them. All seems my best way to win, which is unlikely. All things considered. Right. Lads. Two in Honduras. I think we just ABM treaty. Oh. That's a terrible shame. Well, I believe my goose is pretty much cooked. We'll drop arms race, and then we'll drop Central America scoring. So now we're hoping to limp through the turn. Oh, they've got you an intervention anyway. Very well done. Alas and alack. We managed to pitch lone gunman the same way. Would have been unfair otherwise. But this game is surely leading to an inevitable conclusion now. We can still leave them with grain sales because they're in an unspaceable position, but it's pretty unlikely. Yeah, on the same basis, we also don't want to be bear trapping, do we? Been there before. I mean, if they play John Paul, which they now have to, Europe control is still vaguely on in the absence of any other gambits, but with the rest of the world being red, it's just a matter of time before. Shuttle dip ahead of Jean Paul. Very good, very good. Now that does mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So if we go Olympic Games into Taiwan, and then Portuguese Empire, and then Event Formosa, Asia is even. So silly. Who cares? So we'll Event Formosa, why the hell not? Good fun. So hand shortening with grain sales still does it for us. Oh, I can pitch decol unless they space. But just about any scoring cards plus war games does it for them. Tear down this wall for us. Guess we ask not decol and see what we get instead. It's a bloody scoring card, isn't it? At least it's in our favour. Always a gamble, ask Notting. Let's see if they read the draw. That would be impeccable. No, they just overprotect. Okay. We'll hold Formosa because there was a plan with Asia. We have got terrorism, so we do shorten their hand. Although if they shorten our hand, well, we've got the China card, right? So terrorism seems like the obvious play, so they can't get grain sales away. They can still get grain sales away safely, can't they? Oh boy. Let's still terrorize them. We've got brush war. Chernobyl doesn't do a lot now. Europe scored. Yeah, let's just terrorize them. Oof. So, government, South America, Chernobyl. If they don't get off to space, we can at least pitch Lone Gunman. Chernobyl NATO. He's done very well. So we will take a coup on Argentina. And it fails. Oh boy. Well done, well done, well done. Played perfectly. No notes. Oh lordy, we have Ortega as well. So we must use the China card before. Yeah, because if they'd have... Well, if they shot in our hand anyway, we're dead. But it's the only way to stay up on Ortega and Lone Gunman, which are both suicide cards for us. Do you have war games? It would be a mercy if he did, because we could just get this game packed up and go home. They do not. So we continue. But they have avoided another DEFCON trap. I think that's fine for now. We're not winning this game, so we have to brush war Argentina. And that fails as well. Oh boy. I'll space Iranian hostage crisis, because why not? There's always jamming Argentina, I suppose. Ugh. Pretty rotten. Just toast across the board. Good stuff. That makes sense. Ooh. Well, I'm going to jam Argentina because I've got a scoring card, right? They're just causing trouble. I don't know they've got Africa scoring, and they've got a pretty sweet rear line. Oh, they're going influence. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, ugh. Overprotects Chile and drops South America scoring for a boatload. Yeah. We do get back-to-back action rounds, but can't do a lot with them. Okay. South America scoring drops. We space Iranian hostage crisis. Event Formosa resolution. Because it does at least temporarily solve the Asia problem. Don't think we can win now, right? CIA have gone. Oh, there's duck and cover and Cal. Yeah, so there's still a way they can be stuck with duck and cover Cal and 5-year plan. Yeah, there's a weird world in which we can still sting them, but it's weirder than average. Okay, so we space Iranian hostage crisis and fail. Then event Formosa. Oh, do have to allow them the courtesy. That in CMC, yeah. And then we discard Lone Gunman. Ooh, Asia scoring. But we got duck and cover. Oh, well, at least we're not losing to DEFCON Suicide, but we're not winning. But we weren't winning anyway, so that's fine. Yep, let's go duck and cover. All things being equal, it's always good to duck and cover. Oh, 4 VP for you. Very nice. Got war games? Got any nice scoring card? And just wrap this up. Yeah. Right. Well, thank you for watching. Not particularly glorious as most of my games. Not as ignominious as most of my games. I'm also kind of bulletproof because Crystal Palace won the FA Cup yesterday, and they are a team I've suffered for a long time. So, yeah, I'm still chipper and always will be. Come back Tuesday evening, 9:15 UK time, including the delay, which is what 4:15 Eastern, 2:15 Mountain, 10:15 in Europe. I am playing Dylan Zhang. Tokyo Gore Police, good username. So come back for that. That's the end of ITSL, and then we have a week's break, and then Rutsel starts. Hooray! So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Always a pleasure, and I will see you again soon. But until then, goodbye for now.